SCB Global is more than just a collaboration company. We are connecting businesses around the world with one conversation at a time. Welcome to the Team Me Up podcast.
Hello, and welcome to Team Me Up podcast. This is your host, Nabeel Mahmood with SCB Global. 2023, oh my gosh, what a year it has been. It's been a year full of opportunities and learning. Together, we have explored the possibilities and advantages of a world constantly connected. We've seen the world of communication evolving at an enormous speed, but none of this would be possible without the power of collaboration. Today, I'm joined with Bob Visser, Vice President of Americas for Anywhere365, a key element and partner and the face of the most important partnership in the industry right now. I've known Bob for maybe about a year and a half or so, and I'm going to take a stab at Bob's introduction, but I'll give him an opportunity a bit. So Bob has been active in the technology sector in various roles since the early days of the internet. He developed a focus on what started as customer relation management and grew into what everybody now refers to as user and customer experience strategy. Originally from the Netherlands, he now calls Atlanta his home, from where he set up the US operations for A365. Together with the A365 crew, he's changing the narrative on how organizations engage and interact with their customers. And we're excited to host him today on our platform. Surprisingly, we have got Shams Khan, the Vice President for SCB Global, who's also joining us. And I believe he's currently in the Middle East for the second time at the Team Me Up podcast. Gentlemen, welcome to the Team Me Up podcast. So before we get started, I would love to know something that nobody knows about you, Bob. Something unique, something fun, something exciting.
That is a surprise question, Nabeel.
I'm full of it.
Yeah,
surprises, that is.
Honestly, I'm a very open person. I don't have a lot of secrets. I think one of the things that might come to mind that not everybody knows is that I'm a granddad. I'm not that old yet. I am a granddad, so that might be an interesting fact for other people. Other than that, no. I'm pretty open and always happy to open myself up in order, to get the most out of these conversations, to get the most out of collaborations.
Well, like everything else, you started earlier, right? So granddad is cool. Having grandkids is fun because you can just hand them off. Good for you. All right. Well, let's get work here. I'm very interested in hearing your perspective about how it all started, the SCB partnership with A365.
Yeah, that's an interesting question, Nabeel. So that goes back a while too. So I'm here in Atlanta. I was working with one of our larger partners, and they all of a sudden pulled me into a very large customer. We went through a lot of things right there, right then, and apparently that they liked that off the hip initial contact that we had established. All of a sudden, that partner was replaced, and I met Shams. And immediately there was a great synergy between the two of us. I think we're very, very like-minded. We both have a good level of understanding of technology and the space the technology is playing in. And that is basically how it started. And it only has grown better over time.
Wonderful. Shams, would you want to expand your experience on how the partnership started and the fact that I believe most recently we were named the Partner of the Year, and so was A365 with Microsoft?
Sure. I know Bob said it like, we accidentally met, but it wasn't an easy, journey at the initial days because we did not know the company because we didn't work with Anywhere365. And likewise, two people coming together in COVID because it was 2020. We never met before. I think we spoke for months and then before we met, probably more than a year before we could actually meet. So it was an interesting time. And, we became pretty much to a point where we spoke so much to each other almost every day from August or September 2020 moving on to like meeting for the first time in 2021, October, roughly. The relationship, naturally, as with anything, with the dynamic of being COVID, was there, and we pretty much accelerated in terms of coming together based on the like-mindedness that we had, coming up with solutions and creating curated, answers to problems that around customer experience mostly, that companies that, not just one that Bob mentioned, but several we were encountering, and we started to gel together. We even had organizations coming to us through Microsoft that we would pitch and present together. There was a lot of confusion that existed in that era, I would say, at least in that space where everybody wanted to do a knee-jerk reaction and move into some form of a cloud or a customer experience sort of a platform stroke solution, generally with Microsoft. So there was a lot of that happened, and we had to take that, baton, as I call it, to help them unlearn, help them educate, and move through those cycles and hurdles.
Yeah.
And when you look into that and where we are in 2023, I think the token that Anywhere365 received from Microsoft and SCB received from Anywhere365 is only, a testament to that in terms of the work and the efforts that we put in to not take just a box standard approach, working within the box, to come up with solutions that are tailored, as I call it, the final frontier, which is CX as a service, and we designed and defined path for customers together pretty much. So that is basically how I see our relationship has grown and excelled in this space. And we didn't really wait for things to happen, as I would say, and it sounds more, blowing our own trumpet, but we made things happen in this space.
Yeah, that was needed as well, right? At that point in time. I mean, it was really the Wild West days of Microsoft Teams hitting the market, and there was a lot of uncertainty. So people needed to talk to people that, or organizations needed to talk to people that could give them the confidence, that could drill down in how that would work and how that would apply for them, and how they could basically map the current processes or improve the current processes that they had in place on this new technology, on this new platform. And I think, so I was super impressed with the solution SCB Global had built as well. So I saw organizations making different types of decisions, different types of choices. And it's a stack of technologies, right? And if one component fails, then the overall experience is impacted. So I really wanted to work with a partner that could excel and that could also add to that technology stack to improve the experiences of our customers, so they in turn could improve the customer experience of their customers. And I think together, Shem, that has gone really well. I mean, we needed to solve business problems. We needed to solve use cases or support use cases, or find out how we can support use cases with this new technology that came to the market. And yes, if you look at our current customer base right now, and if you look at the brands that have endorsed the combination of SCB Global and Anywhere365, I think we did well.
That's an amazing story. I mean, we don't really probably talk about this much. The fact that COVID hits, the world comes to a screeching halt, and the fact that we are still able to develop partnerships and collaborate globally. I mean, our story as organizations, as SCB and A365, is a testament in itself for the fact that this works. Well, that's great. Want to get your perspective and what led you to be named Partner of the Year for Microsoft this year or last year?
Well, there was a collaboration. So basically, this was driven by the team overseas in the Netherlands. I did not have not a lot to do with that, but it's a testimony to what we have been building at Anywhere365, both in terms of the technology stack, the vision. Right, we firmly believe that the world is changing. The way organizations are interacting with customers or need to interact with customers using this whole new range of technologies is changing. And we've been, collaborating with Microsoft on a super close level. And I think in the end, the Partner of the Year award has been a testimony of that. But again, most of the credit for this will go to the overseas team, to the European team, especially Martijn, who did a great job there.
Join the revolution. Find out more at scb-global.com.